You're listening to the Bathtub Refinishing Podcast. Powered by BathTubGuys Refinishing. We discuss the refinishing industry, interview owners and operators, and give tips to business owners and entrepreneurs. Now, here's your host, Daniel Montalvo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bathtub Refinishing Podcast. So today we have another guest. This is Jack from Hooked On Refinishing.
How's it going, everybody?
So, Jack came over here to be on the show. We have Carlos back at it. Unfortunately, Jonathan couldn't make it today, but that's okay. We'll probably do another one with him. It's going to be, some different takes and stuff. But I want to start with you, Jack, because I asked this question to everybody. I know we all have different walks of life. So how did you get into the bathtub refinishing industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So I got out of the military in 2018, and I went and worked at a marina for a little bit, bartended a little bit, trying to find what works for me. No luck with the ladies, just that whole, just like life obstacle. And then I got into painting at a marina, and I started painting boats and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I got to understand how fiberglass works, prep work works. And I wasn't getting paid enough. I was driving 45 minutes to Port Canaveral, so I was like, okay, I need to change something up. So I looked for a job that paid well, and I seen an ad for bathtub refinishing at Miracle Method. And they're saying $24 an hour, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to hop on this. And this was 2 years ago. So I went and put my application in, talked to Tim. He's a great guy, super awesome. Got working in with them for about 6 months, but how the process started was give you 2 weeks of training, throw you right into a truck. You're on your own.
Yep.
And after about 3 months of showing consistent work, he'll like let you take the truck home, do all that stuff. I started to love it. I was doing great. I was doing good work. I was always trying to look for the next job. There's a lot of incentives.
Yep.
And so I got a passion for it. I ended up trying to talk to him about maybe where I can come in to maybe open up shop somewhere south or something like that. He wasn't having, he's just like, I just need employees right now. So I was like, okay, no, not a problem. 2 weeks later, he ends up firing me. So I was like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? I looked for another bathtub refinishing place, found one within 2 days. The refinishing guys, worked for them, all commercial. Very quick prep. Nothing
different than what you're used to,
way
right?
different. I'm doing, instead of doing one quality tub in a day, I'm doing 3-4 tubs in a day. So I'm like, okay, this is insane. I'm doing lots of work for atrium management companies, selling hotels.
Mm-hmm.
But the prep work was not as good. It was a lot quicker. Material wasn't as good. So callbacks were coming in. He was on a verge of I would say trying to relocate as well and trying to expand, but he kept losing this one guy that kept not showing up. He ended up basically losing me, working on his own, trying to get all of his capital back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to do something, so I sprayed cars for probably about 2 weeks. And they said, "Oh, dude, you're doing great." I was working at Mako, spraying cars.
Damn, bro. Hey, I paint cars, man.
Paint cars. So I kind of did all things: boats, tubs, cars.
Awesome.
And then at that 2 week
all
mark,
things refinishing.
All things refinishing, right? Yeah. So to finish up, though, I as soon as I was done, on my second week, he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have to let you go." And I'm like, "Why is that?" They're like, "Well, we got a guy that's already qualified to spray cars coming from Sebastian in this area, so we're gonna have to put him here." And I was like, "No problem." Didn't know what to do. Right. Pulled out a credit card, maxed that thing out, $7,000. Got all tools, parts, materials. Put an ad out for $200, and then posted one of my pictures in my Facebook group. And I was scheduled out the next month. My first job, I did great, and it was just
Picked up from
Damn.
there.
Yeah, dude.
First off, congratulations.
Yeah, bro. Congrats.
Thanks.
That sounds like one of the best successful startup companies I've ever heard yet. So.
Yeah, so I've only been doing this for 2 years. I've been in business for a year and a half, so I only sprayed tubs for 6 months. So yeah. So
those are great numbers, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, so it's been a roller coaster, but I mean, I feel like I'm in a position now to where I can make better moves, better decisions, expand. So
That's like the fucking, bro, we talk about risk and reward all the time. And, how people, a lot of these people we see in these groups, and I know a lot of them are going to be listening to these now, especially because we're more active on them and we're posting
Shout out RCN.
Yeah, for real. And the refinishing contractors groups. But a lot of these guys, man, they don't want to take that fucking leap. They want to go the safe way, the way that they understand. And bro, nobody has ever been successful and been comfortable taking the fucking risk. It doesn't exist.
Absolutely. And I've noticed that when people get put in a corner, you kind of figure out who someone is.
Exactly.
You know, they can either get real aggressive, angry, or they can turn that
pressure
into something. You know, pressure creates either a diamond or breaks a
breaks
brittle
that
rock.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean? So.
And you gotta buy into it. You gotta sip the fucking Kool-Aid. You gotta believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, how are you gonna expect other people to take you serious?
Absolutely.
You know, for a long time, and this is something that's controversial in the fucking groups. There was a whole thing about this, but like, I want to be the fucking biggest one in the area, right? And I want people to perceive my brand with quality and with high price. I don't give a fuck. I want to be the premium refinishing company.
Want it all.
And you know, I put my fucking price out there. And I know there's people in town that are cheaper. And this is controversial in those fucking Facebook groups. They're like, oh yeah, you know, and I get people, like, you can go about it anyway. But I think it says something that I'm willing to put that out there and like tell people, like, for less than $4.95, just don't call me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that says to a prospect. But it took a while to get there, right? You know, a lot of the times I would think like, oh yeah, well, I want to be the best. But if, you know, the best guy in town isn't charging $240 because you can't deliver high quality at that price.
No, but it cancels a lot of rejection when you put your price out there.
That's
Once
true.
you put your price out there, people are going to see that. They're not going to message you if they're like, oh, I only want to pay $350.
Exactly.
You know, so.
And that's one of the things that I believe in. Like, a lot of people think, and I disagree, but a lot of people, their argument is, well, more people call because they don't know the price and they want to find it out. And I kind of disagree with that. The reason I disagree with it is, yeah, you're going to have more people calling, but not the right kind of people. Mm-hmm. Because if someone's budget is just $200, like that's it, that's all they have.
They're not going to call a refinishing company to come do a tub.
Well, here's the thing. If you're not advertising price, bro, you could be the best salesman on the planet. If they only have 200, they only have 200. Mm-hmm. So, like, why would you waste your time is my point.
Exactly.
But look, there's different ways to go about it. Price ranges. You don't have to put an exact price. I get it. But, you know, my tactic has been, I put $4.95 out there, and everyone comes in assuming, hey, I see that your price is $4.95, and it's only up from there. Yeah. I was telling you before this, and you know this. How often are we really doing $4.95 jobs?
Not really that often. They're usually in the 500s and up.
Yeah. Well, the tub that Seth did yesterday, $650.
And it was, yeah, exactly.
Like, we're over there. If we're doing repairs and stripping, it could be up to the 700s. If they're doing a tub strip and they want non-skid, it's $710.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's up there.
Let me add to this also. It's tax season, people. Do not lower your prices.
Yeah.
Raise them up, please.
Especially if you're busy.
Do yourself a favor.
Oh yeah.
Do yourself a favor. It is tax season, and it will be for the next 3 months. Raise your prices, because even at those prices, he's booked out.
Yeah,
he's booked out.
Yep,
which means I'm booked out. but yeah, no, for real. Don't be that guy. You're doing yourself a horrible disservice by doing that. You're spending more on material. You're stressing out more. Like, doesn't it feel better when you charge $500 on a tub and you walking away? You're like, I just charged $500 on a tub.
And one of the reasons that I like advertising price is because I operate my business off of this. This is one of the biggest takeaways. You could fit it into your business however you see fit. But I run my business off the mantra of, what would the customer want?
Yep.
If I was the customer and I saw someone, let's say my budget is $500, because I'm the ideal customer, right? And I see tub reglazing for $500. And I see someone that says call for a quote. Who am I calling?
Probably the one for $500.
Yeah, because it's speaking directly to the ideal person.
Absolutely.
And I run my business like that. The content that I make, what did I tell you? Make what you would want to watch. You want more people like you.
Exactly.
Because you understand quality. You understand that quality isn't cheap. You want your customers to be like you.
Absolutely.
And all these things, to me, are the difference maker. Whereas, like, okay, a miracle method. This is something that George brought up in the group, and I think it was a good point. Like, look, miracle method doesn't advertise price, but also miracle method has hundreds of franchises. Like they're not exactly hurting for work. But what bothers me is when the solo refinisher in town is struggling and out of desperation goes and does a tub for $200 when in reality all that's doing is costing him money. That's just the fucking truth.
And stress.
And
Absolutely.
stress.
And I've noticed that Miracle Method, they advertise in a strict location too, and it'll go out to the entire nation. So I'll see it come from Texas, an ad come from Texas coming here to Florida. So
I've seen that too, actually.
And it helps out the Miracle Method in the area because they're just going to look up Miracle Method locally.
Yep.
So
they're
that's
smart.
that's free ads.
Yeah.
That is
Free
smart,
ad.
actually, if you think about it. That works out for them. And they've been, 70s? What was it, the 70s?
79.
79, yeah.
That's
That's
a
a
long
long time to be around.
Man, I can only imagine what they were using then.
They were using pressure siphon feds.
Oh, man.
Actually, speaking of
Wall paint.
yeah, wall paint. They're like, hey, it's a high gloss. Like, totally random. What is your equipment that you like to use?
Yeah, so I top the line always. So
Okay.
So I use the Graco Edge 2 Plus.
Okay.
So I have 4 of them now. So
Nice.
the reason why I have 4 was I was sending my guns to CJ Spray whenever the packing would have like a little problem with it, a little leak.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to
Happens.
fix it, so I'm like, hey, let me send it to them. $150. They send it back.
Nice.
It's all pressure clean,
Brand new. Yeah.
So it felt nice. When winter hit, there was a bad blizzard over there, and I wasn't able to get my gun in time, so I had to order it. And then once I got done ordering that gun, this gun crapped on me, and I needed that gun for multi-stone. So I bought 2, and then I got the other 2 fixed. Now I got 4 guns.
That's good.
So now I'm in a good spot. But I use the Pro Comp 7.0.
Yep.
Graco. Yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you have. I myself, I've always been I'm versatile. Like I spray everything: cars, cabinets, tubs.
Yep.
Even things that you shouldn't spray. I probably spray.
Oh, I see, and it looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So I always needed, right off rip, the strongest turbine system you could have. So I went naturally with the Cap Spray 115, which is the only 6-stage. Well, not anymore. Apollo actually just recently started doing a 6-stage. That's my next buy. Shout out Apollo. And then, but before that, dude, I was using a 3-stage tub, and man, doing tub and tiles were so slow. So you're like, it was torture.
Oh, I bet.
Now it's like, you're like, you got full control and you can go really quick with it. So
In and out. Yeah, something I wanted to talk to you both about is you guys are both using the wipe-on primer.
Yeah.
the Crosslink, right?
Crosslink, and that's the MM3.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's a similar thing. They're both saline based. Although Miracle Method doesn't say exactly what it is. Like I said, my theory is that it's just not catalyzed. I think it's the same shit. Also, I don't think it's a coincidence that it's called MM3 and this other thing is called Crosslink 3. That's kind of
Yeah.
a little tongue in cheek, I think. You know?
There are companies that sell in mass holes and then people just buy them.
Well, and we know that because like even my top coat, I buy it private label, and it's not for like the refinishers. All refinishers know where products are coming from. It's for the fucking handyman who might be looking around to see like, oh, what is it? What are they using? So I can fucking undercut them. Like that's what I care about.
Yeah, that's true.
But those are the same jackasses that don't even bother Googling what professionals use. So, but anyway, we know that a lot of these manufacturers offer private labeling, and if they're both buying it from an industrial supplier, it would make more sense just from a shelf stable point of view to have it not be catalyzed already, because it'll probably like Crosslink can only be, it has a 1-year shelf life after it's open.
Yeah, after it's open.
But if you don't get it, if it's not catalyzed and you're mixing it yourself every time you use it, well then.
Yeah, life expectancy is a lot longer. So.
Yeah.
So this is actually what I like to do with Crosslink. If it's just a tub, I wipe it.
Yeah.
But if it's a tub and tile, I was wiping it. It was actually longer than I would have just sprayed it. So now I have a gun dedicated just to the Crosslinker. I use the amazing, awesome Amazon dog poop bags, and I put it on my cup. It works awesome.
For the PPS system.
Bro,
Yeah.
do you use a PPS system?
I do.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude.
Perfect.
You want to save a shit ton of money on liners, bro?
Oh yeah.
dog poop bags.
I got this fucking tip from Danny from Alliance Reglazing
Shout
in
out
California.
Danny from Alliance.
Bro, this man, he has 10 crews.
He knows his
and
stuff, bro.
they only use PPS. And he was like, bro, you want to save some money on liners? Use these fucking dog poop bags. It's like $11 for like 50 rolls.
Brother, I've used the same liner and lid for over a month.
Yep.
Stop it, dude.
I swear. Well, it's gotten expensive. You know this.
Bro,
Oh,
PPS
yeah.
is expensive.
I used to buy it for $65. Now it's like $99.
The attachment for the PPS cup, the
The
attachment
18.
that goes to the gun, it went from $35. Now it's $79. They're
Yes.
no longer creating them.
Yep.
CJ Spray,
What?
Yep, CJ Spray now makes an exact replica of it, and that's what they're selling it for, $79.
Now, which one do you use, the Olds one or the 2.0?
I'm not sure, honestly.
If it doesn't say 2.0, you're probably using the old one, which is fine. Everyone's still using the old one, but the 2.0 is supposed to be a lot better. I myself, I'm buying the S18 tip, which thank you. I need to order it.
They're hard to find.
They are hard to find, bro. They really are. I've bought 3 tips so far, and they were all wrong, and I couldn't get my money back. So I'm like $60 deep now. And but I finally found the right one. Thank you, Danny. And I'm going to order that one. And what I like about that one is, has this ever happened to you from a technical side? Has your gun ever popped off? Has that ever happened to you?
So it happened to me when I worked at Miracle Method. It never happened. So all my problems and trials and tribulations happened to the other companies.
that's
Good.
great. That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
Recently, it just happened to me again. It hasn't happened to me in a couple of years, but when it did, it was after I got done finishing. It was on a walk-in shower / sink. I was done with everything, and what I like to do for walk-in showers, if they're very long, I prep the entire floor, and then once I'm done with the walls, I rip off the floor, and then I do the floor.
That's what I do. Yep.
I feel it's just so much better. The finish comes out so much better on the floor. I'm trying to give quality finish. So I do everything. I rip off the floor. I go to shoot the floor, and I just jiggle it too much, and it was already not perfectly centered. And right when I go like this, the pressurized hose, the cup fell off, so it was just the cup, it was exposed, and all the pressurized just go and literally shot all on the. I was like, all right, so let me grab a rag real quick. I immediately just went on to wipe the entire thing down, and I had to spray everything all
Easier
over
sanding
again.
process once you
Yes,
do that. I'm not just gonna walk away from that. I know what would happen.
And you know what sucked? It was a strip. So it was a strip. I literally mechanically sanded that entire thing that day. So if I was going to do that again, I was like, fuck that. I'm staying here an extra 2 hours. I'm wiping everything down, and I'm just going to do it again. And I did. I was there till like 12 at night, but.
Hey, it's worth it, man. It's worth it.
Yeah, I don't want to come back.
Came out good?
Yeah, no, it came out perfect. Came out
Nice.
perfect. You know, it's funny. The only thing that person complained about was the grouting on the floor,
Oh yeah.
which had nothing to do with us. They couldn't tell the difference. Like, that was perfect.
Great.
We've been having some fucking trials and tribulations with fucking grout, bro. What do you do with grout lines? You just like caulk them?
So no, it depends. Since I am a one-man team, if the grout is horrible and I know I'm gonna have to do grout, I'll do grout the day before, or I'll get a faster drying grout.
Okay.
Right.
There you go.
They have like a 30-minute drying grout, and I'll basically rip up all the old stuff, re-grout it, and then caulk it, clean it, do everything I got to do, and then spray it. Comes out great.
Yesterday, we hired a gentleman. He's like 50. But he's been doing this shit since like the dawn of time. But he's doing pretty well and everything with the glazing. But we had him teach the guys how to do grout, like the one that's not mixed already.
Yeah.
And it dried and everything on time yesterday, and the shit came out clean. So hopefully,
He sprayed it in one day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used a grout that George told me to use in the group. He told me like this specific one from my pie or whatever. That like
Mape?
yeah,
Yeah.
he said
yeah.
there's a specific one that he recommends because he says that it hazes up in like 10 minutes.
Good.
And then after that, it'll like dry enough. He's like, you'll see that it's dry. It'll look a little chalky. He's like, just do your final wipe to get the little chalkiness off and just spray it.
Yeah. That's the thing with grouting. It leaves a lot of chalk behind. You have to give it good wipes before you spray it.
About 4 or 5 different times too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, what I do is I'll keep a hot water bucket because the hot water actually makes it dry quicker, and then I just have towels and I'll do a pass, throw away the towel, get a new towel, go in there. I just do not want it to go back, and then I'm constantly changing the water.
you need to use sponges. I think sponges will be a best bet.
Sponges is better actually. Yeah, when I don't have the sponge around, and I always have rags, so I kind of end up over it. But yes, you're right.
For sure.
For tile,
For sure.
They have these double ones that has a microfiber on one side and then the sponge on the other.
Those are great also.
And then like
Great also.
when you're doing the haze, the microfiber sponge is like the best duo because it's like those microfibers trap that freaking stuff and it does like a super clean wipe.
It does.
But
It does.
but yeah, so we've been doing that. I don't know, man. Like we never used to do grout, but even he can tell you, like last year, the number of complaints
Was
minuscule.
only grout.
But it's minuscule. Like now this year, like towards like I would say the last 6 months, tail end of last year, early this year, it's just been like that's all people complain about.
Yeah.
Grout lines. It's
Not
like,
the finish, just the grout line, which has nothing to do with us. But basically, what we've just decided we're just going to charge a little bit more. If we have to let them know, we'll let them know. But we're just going to go ahead and take care of it.
Yeah.
So I myself have been doing this dabbling back and forth. If the grout is really, really bad, I won't do cross linker. I'll actually do
resin.
I'll do resin spray. And what I like about resin spray is once you spray it, it's so easy to pinpoint all the grouting areas. Like, with the old Midwest primer, which I rarely use anymore. But when it's tub and tiles, I just kind of end up doing that. And by doing that, it's just so easy to see it. And like if it's not a lot, the caulking is perfectly fine. Especially on unsanded grout, you're not going to tell the difference.
Absolutely. Do you guys caulk before you spray?
So I'll caulk before I spray. If I've missed anything, DAP high gloss white matches perfectly with their top coat, which is what we use, China White, right?
China White. Yeah.
So it matches perfectly. Just use DAP silicone high gloss. And if I missed anything, I don't know how you do it, but I have a way that by the time I'm done cleaning up and everything, I can already touch. And it's nice and glossy, but I can already touch the finish. Yeah. Obviously, don't leave your hand on there. You're going to leave the handprint. But like for a quick touch up or like, touching and
flash dry is good. Great.
Flash is great, and I also do it with lacquer and acetone. I feel it's a lot quicker. I do a mixture of both of them when I'm doing. I do like a 20% reduction.
Really?
So 20% reduction.
0 reduction. And my stuff is coming out pretty
nice.
crisp.
You don't have to reduce with Midwest, but it just depends how you like the material to come out. If you're used to the viscosity, by all means,
you're gonna come out perfect. Yeah,
but some guys just like it to come a little looser out of the gun. That's perfectly fine too. I found that if you have that balance and you let it atomize correctly in the cup and all of that you really don't have to reduce. But there are some guys that I know, they do 50% fucking reduction.
That to me is wild.
Well,
even Midwest tells you to go ahead and reduce it.
Matthew from Bath Renew, he does like a crazy reduction. I think it's like 30 or 40%, and he says that it does not come out that liquidy.
I tried 30% once. I didn't like how thin it was because what I found at that point is I have to give more coats in order for it to get a full finish.
That's true.
The more you thin, essentially, the more coats you have to do. But at the 20%, I found it was perfect. My gloss is like effortless. I spray on one coat. I could literally walk away. It looks stupid glossy.
Well, how often do you order from Midwest?
That's a good question, man. Too much. I pay for shipping way too much.
Okay, so if you're getting it fresh, also, if you you'll go in the back and you'll see I have 15 fucking gallons of top coat back there.
Yeah.
After a little bit of while, it'll thick up a little bit. Yeah. So you might have to do that.
That's also another reason.
So I buy, make sure it's pretty fresh and make sure of that. Yeah.
When it's fresh, you don't need to because they use xylene in the mix and it comes out fucking like velvety, bro.
That shit comes out perfect. True. That is actually very true, and I could see why if you're getting it very fresh, why you wouldn't thin because it really does. It just comes out so good.
Like when you do custom colors, it's always fresh.
It's so smooth. Yeah. So you saw I sent you the photos of the gray tile surround that I did 2 years ago. I just recently went to redo a tub. A client messed it up. It wasn't anything to do with quality or it was just they had a leak, so it rusted. So we went and we took care of them. But I was looking at the grout or the tile surround, and man, I did it in gray, and it was a special color, so it was perfect. That I was still surprised. I was like, damn, this thing is still shiny as hell. Like this looks good, I was pretty proud of myself.
Nice. Yeah. So also, what I've known if it's like bigger grout lines, I've come like where it's like half an inch grout, not half inch, like I'd say quarter inch. Quarter inch. Yeah. I don't use caulking much. Sometimes it'll fall through, and there's nothing behind that tile. I'll use like a Bondo filler, and I'll sand it, and then I'll caulk over the top of that. So.
Basically, what Bath Art told me that they do, they use one that's from O'Reilly's that it has a little bit more working time. It's called U-Pool or something like that, and it comes in like.
You have some. I've never actually tried it.
And they said that it works well. And then I've seen some other guys. What they'll do is they'll do a Bondo, and then they have one of those caulking tools, the ones that the perfect line ones.
Yeah.
And they'll use that to make the grout line straight.
Yep.
So to take the excess off, so you're not like when you're sanding
Obvious.
it,
Yeah.
or even sometimes you don't have to sand it. If it's like a finishing type Bondo, you don't got to sand that shit.
Yeah.
It comes out so smooth, and then you're gonna cover it up anyway. So, but yeah, that grout thing has been kind of annoying. It's the only thing that I just haven't perfected, but we're working on it because I don't want customers to complain about anything really, but especially something like that where like, you know, the job looks beautiful, the guys did a really fucking good job, and we all know how hard it is to get good workers, bro.
Oh yeah.
And something like that, it's like it's demoralizing to them because sometimes even when you're spraying, everything looks perfect, and then the coating starts to set in on that grout, and then it looks like shit.
Yep.
Sometimes the grouts, especially the sanded ones, you are required to give an extra coat or two.
Oh no! The other day
because they'll soak up all that paint. You're
I went to a shower to do a quote for a guy. He was an older guy, so I went in person, and he had like the 1/3 inch thick grout lines, and it was sanded. I was like, I'm gonna have to re-grout this with unsanded grout because I'm not spraying that. Yep. Like if these guys spray that, this is gonna look terrible unless you like the grout lines looking gray, bro.
And them older ones complain, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
They complain a little bit.
yeah, they do. So back to like the whole thing with the PPS system, bro. We can save you some money on liners, bro.
Oh yeah, that's great. I'm gonna
Dude,
start doing that
I
immediately.
promise it works. When he handed it to me, he didn't tell me it was a dog poop bag. I'm looking at him. I'm like, I have a dog. I'm pretty sure I buy those. And
Are they clear or green?
well, they come in every color.
They come in every color.
So if
But
I get it clear, you can still see the numbers and.
I always use black, but I'm sure, they have to have clear ones.
They have different ones.
to have
You just
clear
got to
ones.
make sure that it's because you know the thing is they put like they line the bag with something so the smell doesn't leave, and it's the same shit that I guess that it protects it from melting. Because normally with the Midwest catalyst, like it'll melt through plastic, but since that shit's treated with something, it doesn't. And then you just take out the little bag and throw it away.
Yep.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
No, dude, it's amazing.
That's amazing.
Well, when Danny came over here, so he flew from California to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking goat. And he's going to come back also. We're planning a show with him and another guy from Georgia. That's going to be interesting. But he was like, bro, what are you doing for your liners? And I'm like, well, I'm buying them. I don't know. What the fuck you mean I'm doing with the liners? He's like, bro, you want to save some fucking money? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, look at these fucking dog poop bags. He's like, trust me, it sounds fucking crazy, but try it. And I did it, bro.
That's
Ever
funny.
since then,
Honestly, it's such an underrated tip.
Yeah,
it
it
is
is.
such an underrated money-saving tip because, again, those systems, the boxes are expensive now.
bro, you're
man.
making you could literally run on one liner for the rest of your days probably because really the paint doesn't ever really touch the liner.
Yeah.
Because the bag's over the.
Over.
and then
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
And it also keeps the
Nice.
threads clean.
It does.
Wow.
Because
It
remember
does.
that bag is going over, so when you screw in the threads, it's screwing into
covering
the
it.
bag. So like when you take it off, your threads are nice and clean, man. And that's another problem with the PPS that everyone has is that when
They
starts
throw
to get-
them out.
They
yeah.
throw them out because it starts to get caked up, and then they can't clean the threads.
Which, by the way, you shouldn't throw out an $80 cup. Like
yeah, people are crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I
easy
actually
to
did?
fix, too.
Yeah, it's
Unless they're
super
cracked,
easy
but-
fix.
Yeah.
I actually just literally bought, and this is a long time coming for me. I just bought a supersonic cleaner for guns.
cool.
I can't wait. Well, and it's not even just guns; it's actually anything. So I can't wait to put my cup in there so I can see again. they're pretty caked up now.
Yeah.
And I got too many guns, and I also do cabinets, so I have a bunch of airlesses. They're all caked up, and sometimes if you just don't clean it that day, like you're trying to rush something, the next day it's just so hard to get it off.
Well, I'm gonna need to come by and clean like 5 guns, dude.
Dude, it's really good. It's actually supposed to be here today, so I'm excited. It's so funny,
That's
dude. When
cool.
you're an adult, tools are your toys now.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know what my wife gave me for my birthday? She gave me a Festool, an organizer for sandpaper, and I was so freaking excited.
Oh,
and
that
it
is
was
nice.
just a sandpaper holder, you know.
I saw something and I'm over here trying to convince my brother that it's a good investment, even though I know it's not. Let me show you this shit.
That's funny,
It is fucking crazy. You see this before?
dude. Shut up! I literally just commented on George that I need to buy that. Okay.
Yeah.
The-
The refinishing guys have that.
Bro,
Again.
this
I'm gonna
is-
tell you this though. I'm gonna tell you this.
The spray cabinets.
Is it awesome? Yes.
It looks like a bitch to clean.
I wouldn't buy it for your guys.
They're not going to take care of it.
They're not going to take care of it.
And it's like $1,000.
It's expensive.
But bro, I saw George used it for a bathroom. That's like such a perfect application because you could mix a gallon of fucking product and not have to dick around fucking mixing all day.
Exactly.
And then, you need to switch out a gun? Just unscrew it, put up the new one.
Yes,
bro.
So that's called a pressure cup system, a pressure pot systems. I used to paint ambulances and fire trucks and helicopters back in my day, and that was the only way, dude. Like, could you imagine trying to paint a helicopter with a little freaking pressure-fed gun? Like, are you kidding me? You're gonna be there all day. So it would be a team of it would be me and my guys. We usually be 3 or 4. We'd all have exactly that, but that's for the turbine system. We would have it for the air feds, and we would just have a huge ass pot. Everybody would be like this and spraying, and the versatility.
The 2-quart pots, the 2.5 quart.
Yeah, I have some.
Marissa, she made a video reviewing one.
Dude, it's so good, especially for when I do tub and tiles. I roughly spend around 64 ounces of materials. Like I mix a lot. And I don't like to do what a lot of people like to do, whereas they spray, they ran out, they come back out, they mix again. I don't like that. I think that's so counterproductive.
It is, and also your material atomizes better if you let it sit.
Exactly. So I like to mix it. I already have everything. I have more than one PPS cup, so I bring everything with me. I'm in the cup. I also tape myself in there, so the exhaust.
Oh yeah.
I'm very bro. Like
me too.
You're gonna have to. We're gonna have to go to each other's job sites one day. I'll shadow you and you shadow me one day, and we'll kind of mess around with it.
Vlog that shit.
Yeah, absolutely for editing purposes. But when I do that, I have all my cups in there, and I'm just ready. I want to spray and I want to get the hell out. I don't want to do the whole in between, walking in and out. I have a guy that I'm currently training. And I'm kind of done beating in his head like, dude, just have everything, and all you're doing is you're just spraying for 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, I still use the aerospace primer with Midwest Chemicals.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, when you're putting the top coat, you need that aerospace primer to flash dry at least.
Yeah.
So I'll do like 3 things of primer if I'm spraying a tub and tile, big one, and I'll do all the primer at once.
Yep.
I'll let that flash dry, then I'll go mix up the top coat.
That is good too, though. Yeah.
Their primer is probably the best.
It's still the best in the market.
It's amazing.
Everybody agrees. Even some of these top coat diehards, they swear by Midwest Primer. Midwest Primer is probably one of the best ones on the market. The coverage, the ease of use, and the self etching on it is fucking phenomenal.
So it's self etching. It's epoxy primer.
Yeah.
You can throw that on metal, and you're going to be perfectly fine. I've painted cars with it. I've used it as literally the first step.
You saw the truck that my brother painted. Did
he use the primer?
He used Crosslink and the fucking primer.
Absolutely. But I mean, dude, talk about that's never going to fall off.
So that does make it more durable then.
Absolutely.
So then that's what I'm going to do for every tub and every counter from here on out is I'll do the wipe on primer and the probably the application as well.
You don't necessarily have to, but it's one of those things. To me, you know what I consider that? I consider that literally just a small little sense of security. Like, I know for a fact nothing's going to happen here. I actually used the primer on this countertop.
Yeah,
this looks great.
Thank you.
And then,
what do you guys do? You guys don't do counters typically, though, do you?
We do counters pretty often. It's just we don't.
The multi-spec.
Like, it's hard to get the guys to record. I'm not there at every job, especially anymore. And like, lately I've been telling the guys, like, when you're at a fucking job, record, please. But we do counters pretty often, but it's a lot of bathroom work, bro. Like, every day. I mean, look at this past week. I'll sneak peek you on what the fuck we had going on this week.
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up myself, which is freaking awesome.
That is pretty fucking.
Yeah, so December for me was pretty slow. I didn't plan it accordingly. It was my first real December that slowed down. So next year I'm already going to plan this out. I'm probably just going to put double the ads on November.
Yeah,
just do something like that. But I'm hoping to be expanded by then. So we'll see.
Good, absolutely.
On Monday we're doing 2 tub and tiles, a shower, a tub, and then a tub at the apartment complex that you did.
That's the crew.
And then Tuesday, tub, another 2 tub and tiles and a shower. Like, we were doing some hotel work, a shower pan, another tub and tile and a shower, a garden tub and a shower.
That's still just Tuesday?
That's my whole week.
Yeah, like every day.
That's the whole having a crew, bro.
The guys are usually double booked. And the way I double book, and this is a nice tip for you, because if you're going to start expanding, you cannot think of the schedule as like one technician every
day.
like a day per job. That's the wrong way to do it. Get the most out of them. The way you do it is have your guy who's going to shadow you, who's going to be the guy who sprays, right? After that, get someone as a prep tech. And what you're going to do is you're going to be like, look, you go do a tub and towel this morning. You go prep a tub. On your way back from the tub and towel, you spray the tub. Now you're getting a guy doing a tub and towel and a tub in one day, 8 hours, and you're getting the most out of them. They're going to be chilling because all they got to do is spray at the other place.
Yep.
That's what I've been fucking doing.
Yeah,
Genius,
bro.
yeah.
It
Bro,
works.
it is fucking phenomenal.
It works.
I'll send my tech. He's doing a tub and towel for $750, $800. Then I got the guy doing a tub with strip for $650. By the time he's done at the other place, the shit's already done, prepped.
Yep.
And all he has to do is spray it.
Well, you know the beauty about that is you're actually setting a system.
Yep.
Because you're hiring people. You've already mastered your first guy.
Levels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's levels to this. There literally is levels to this. And I've tried myself hiring someone to do it all. Dude, it takes a while for you to just get prep.
Yeah.
So
which is you're giving them real world experience prepping.
Exactly.
They need to know what a sprayer is looking for. Your guy who's the first sprayer that's beside you, he needs to have the balls to be like, bro, this is how I like it. So it better be like that. And then that's gonna program in their head what to expect when they start spraying.
Yep.
Like it needs to be clean as fuck. I want it masked like this. Like because they don't want to do extra work. They want to come in and just spray.
Absolutely.
That's the fucking idea, right? They just did a tub and tile. They don't want to fucking. But that's the way I've been doing it, man. Like, it's easy to make $1,400 in a day on 2 regular ass jobs like that, bro.
And are you who are you paying more, the prepper or the sprayer? Because it seems like sprayer's doing a lot less work.
The sprayer.
The sprayer.
You know why?
Because it's a build up to get there.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I always tell the preppers, bro. I'm like, look, at the end of the day, the one who gets us paid is the final application. That's it. Like, no one's paying for you to prep the tub and walk away.
And it gives them something to work towards.
Exactly.
Well,
Beautiful.
that's so funny because what he has now and what he's had done is it works so genius. So the sprayer will go to the second job site where the prepper's prepping, and the prepper is actually so wanting to spray that the sprayer comes and just watches him. So now he's kind of like the manager of there. So he's managing. He's not even spraying. He's getting paid for that. But now his job is to make sure that dude is doing it right. And now the prepper is excited because he's moving on from prepping to spraying because he's been seeing it so long. And he's like, man, I want to spray. And that's usually naturally the mentality of all these preppers.
You know what I've been getting is like, because, I don't pay them bad either. $20 an hour is what I'm paying.
Really good, yeah.
A prepper.
But at the same time, I tell them, bro, 4 hours is max for you prepping, bro. You better get the hell out. But what I've been having is them call me like, hey, yo, I'm going to clock out, but I'm going to stick around so I can see him spray. And then the last time the tech called me, he's like, yo, I let this guy spray the first couple coats, and he sent me a video of it. And that's easier for them. They're just kind of managing. They're trying to, they're molding a technician to be like them. And that's what you want, because if they're good, then they're going to be good if they learn from him, right?
Yep.
And it's also, they're taking the initiative to be like, hey, I'm going to stay. I don't even need to be clocked in. I'm just letting you know. And because they don't want to get in trouble either, just being there for 7 hours prepping. I know that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's been happening, and it's been so much better, bro, because trying to teach everybody everything, a lot of people can't learn that way. You got a lot of people, the prep needs to be mastered before they take the next step. Yep. My top guy, Ralph, he learned that way. He was my brother's prep tech for 2 years, and he was always interested in the spraying, but it took a while for him to get the spraying down. It took him about a good 6 months of fucking jobs up to get it down pat.
But that's what it takes.
But he already had the prep. So the prep was always clean. Even though the finish might not have been 100%, there was a lot of people who were cool with it because it stuck and the material is on there the right way because he prepped it right.
Yeah, and most people, what they're looking for is just, hey, I want brand new. So, you still want to provide the best customer service, best tub you can possibly give, because there's going to be the people that, meticulous. Oh, I used to spray cars back in the day, so now I get to see what your finish is.
Man, have I ran into that.
Oh, man, that's a fun one. So.
I show off at that point in time. I really do. Not to toot my own horn, I'm a killer refinisher, especially when it comes to cars and tubs. So, when someone tells me that, I'm like, I got you, fams. I got you.
Just take care of them. All right, let's end that first episode here, and then we'll pick it up. We'll do another one. And maybe another one after that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Conversation's going well. But we're already 40 minutes in.
Sweet.
Flies by in here.
Awesome.
All right.
Can I take a bathroom break?
Yeah, absolutely.
Listening to the Bathtub Refinishing Podcast. If you liked what you heard, be sure to keep up with the Bathtub Guys on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, or visit BathTubGuys.com for more. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Fall finishers, refinishers.